Because we just used to hear like, no, they're just three guys that are just causing trouble in the community. and most of the community like we're against you guys. You guys are disrespecting elders. You guys are going against the system and such things. So how hard was it like for you guys now to get employment, for you guys to like just to navigate like as normal young people?
We were an outcast in this country, but what kept us going is the prayers of our grandmothers. So we said that no, we need to bring the issue of land and young people's needs at the center of development. So we cannot be in a country where young people's voices are being silenced for the sake of others, for the sake of golden kids, as they say.
You guys, you are now in the process of registering to be a political party, and to actually participate in next year's election. So you yourself, my individual, do you aspire to go to parliament? And then if you go to parliament, what issues do you guys going to tackle? Welcome to Rise and Impact podcast, where we celebrate the incredible young people who are changing the world one community at a time. Each episode, I will be interviewing the next generation of change makers just to explore their stories, their insights and achievements. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for you to be notified whenever we release an episode. This is the Rise and Impact podcast, and I'm your host, Elizabeth Julume. So thank you so much, George, for joining and for agreeing actually to do this. I really do appreciate it. So the first question that I have for you, because I really want to understand the person that is sitting in front of me today, I guess I'm specifically talking to you. Like, what do you think is the one of like maybe an event or something from your early childhood or upbringing that I should know for me to understand the George that is sitting in front of me today?
Sure. It's a lot. But one thing that I grew up in a household of almost 15. That's now 15. That's now his grandkids and my aunts and uncles. With now cousins now. So grandkids is now cousins and senior cousins and like that. Typical Babu family, yes. So the most pivotal point that happened in my life was that is when I got introduced by my late father into politics. So I was about maybe 4 or 5 years old when I was exposed now to politics in terms of just rallies, just attending rallies. Yeah, so that's maybe the beginning of my in terms of how I understood life. Started at that point in time.
I see. So you grew up here in Windhoek, right?
Yes, I grew up in Windhoek in Banaida, not Banaida, Mampulokasi, just right across Namtuni. But I did not go. Funny enough, Namtuni just right across, like the gate of Namtuni, just is my grandmother's house, just right there. But I've never seen the gates of Namtuni in terms apart from playing, obviously. But I never went to. I did not school at Namtuni. I schooled at Veredin Sari Primary School and Banaida. So that's where I did my primary school. And then as we go ahead, I'll tell you more about where I went to school. But in terms of the snap is probably that point in time of like at 5, 6, we were the father who attended both of rallies. And also I also got to meet the founding fathers all the time. So it was a bit of an experience. Yes.
So when did you start getting involved in activism, like from
Real activism started in so after high school.
Or even maybe not the activism, but like just you being involved in community development.
Sure, it's a long time. It's a long time. I think even the ones watching this might not have been born there.
Really?
But it's a joke. So I started my community development back in high school. in between 2008. 2008, 2007 there, because now what happened was I was very naughty. I was a very naughty child in that school. Very naughty child. Very naughty child.
Really?
So what happened was that now there's a time when I schooled in St. Doris, and then because of my naughtiness, I had to go close by supervision. So I had to go into a hostel, and St. Doris at that time did not have a hostel, so I moved to Pega de Villiers, to school in Caitmans.
Oh, you schooled in the Caitmans as well?
Yeah, in Caitmans. So I schooled there most of my high school from grade 9 to grade 12 to half of my grade 12. I was in Caitmans. Now, when I was in Caitmans, remember in Caitmans you're exposed to a lot of diverse cultures. And in that case, I was also kind of like a minority.
Yeah.
So, and I was also exposed to a lot of ills, social ills. So I joined what we call a AIDS club, and through that AIDS club, that's when I started out doing now a lot of community work. Community work within my community, and also through church as well. Also through church, joined church at a very young age of about 14. Yeah, so that point in time, so this point in time, that's when I started doing a lot of community work. Yeah.
And then now activism, like.
So now through that through my high school background, I came to Windhoek. I went to Yanyonker Afrikaner, did my final grade 12 there at Yanyonker, and then from Yanyonker I took a gap year. Now I think that's not the biggest part of my life, because my mom wanted to say, look, when I go to school, it's now everybody's at varsity. At the time my friends were studying for politics or political science, friends were going in law, accounting, and I was like, I'm not sure yet. Yeah. My mom was like, but just go and do something, just go. And that's actually, yeah, so I took a gap year. I took a gap year in 2011, and that gap year, I think that's when my life transformed holistically, just boom. Because that year I joined what we call the youth leadership development program initiative that was run by FES, by Stiftung, NYC, and the Minister of Youth. So it used to be the flagship youth leadership development program in the current at that point in time. And coming from Nancy as well, it was also a platform where I could harness my leadership skills. But now a component of the YLDP was social participation, where you need to go out in the communities and actually work, not just this of just going one day with drop off food. No, you have to be at the center and work at least for 3 months at the center, and I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Work with young people, and 2, work with young people in the community. So that is that. Ever since then, I never looked back. And that was, I was forced to go and do a diploma in development. So I did an IT course. I did some accounting, a diploma in accounting at UNAM, and then IT work. But anyways, everything led me towards youth development, and that has been my best decision ever. Yeah.
Great to hear that. Okay, schooling in the South, because in the South is now like a different diversity, and like this, it's a different environment from where you grew up, a different tribe as well. What do you think is maybe like a skill, not like even a skill, or something that you learned from the people from the South, or maybe something that is different? That is the people in the South are different from,
They love tea.
Yeah?
They love tea. Tea.
Oh, tea.
Guys, tea.
It's true.
Tea any day, whether it's now hot, cold, it's tea. It's and I came to appreciate it because because it cools you down. It cools the body temperature. Because we think that no, doing cold water, it does, but then compared to drinking tea, it's nothing, and it's beautiful. And also the things also that they are good with their hands. In terms of plants, there's no house in Caitman that does not have a fruit tree or backyard garden, and it's beautiful. And it is beautiful. Unlike us, where most of us don't do that, but in Caitman, almost every other house has a fruit tree and has a backyard garden, and that's one thing that I've learned from them and appreciate much more, and I appreciate it from them about this.
That's very true. Like I also grew up like in the south, but it's between Caitmans and my granddaughters in the farm there. So in like one thing that in Tess, that's where I actually stayed from grade 5 until grade 12.
Oh, okay.
So like I think one thing that I realized from them, like the people from the south, they are so talented and they have so many skills, especially when it comes to sports.
Yes.
Like academically, they are also very smart as well. Like they are just very smart people.
No, I think one thing that's why I keep on telling people is that it's really with a country that's so diverse as ours, that I always tell my young friends that look, at every point in your life you must be able to transcend and visit and experience other cultures.
Okay, so let's now come into like you being formally involved in activism and politics and all that. So you co-founded the AR.
Yes.
You're one of the members that co-founded the AR. So how did that idea came about, and how did you guys come about it, and how did you guys just start the whole thing and the main objective behind it?
Okay, well it's quite strange, or funny, because I made job in 2010. I met Job in 2010. He used to write a lot about Nanso. Well, he used to be one of our biggest. Every time when I say Nanso, he used to be our biggest critic. So I keep on asking now, who is this Job and Pana guy that's always writing about us, but it's never we're having debates. And then one of his friends, Nick Buten, said, no, the guy is based in SA. Okay, so there's a time when we were doing this, was in Stellenbosch. Then I inboxed him. Said, man, look, when you come back home, please let's link up and discuss these things with her, and so I can understand your perspective.
Oh, does he used to write like negative about Nanso?
Yes. No, definitely yes. Yeah, he was the worst. So people think Job now is worse. Job then was much more worse. So we made it 2010, later 2011, and then started a brotherly love there. With D as well. I met D also around about 2011 to 2012. So we were brothers before AR started, and also what bounded us also was that we were in Nanso, and also in one particular party that I won't mention, but you might know what I'm talking about. So we were in the political party's youth wing, where we were running programs within the youth league. Within that particular party's youth league. Yeah. So in those meetings now we were exposed to that. Look, why is it that when we are having events or planning for rallies, it's always us at the forefront. We are these us that are waking up early in the morning, putting up posters on the streets. It's us that are having sleepless nights over who is coming, who's not coming. Are the masses informed, being to mobilize, but on the actual event, you are not allowed anywhere next to the VIP tent. You're not allowed to mingle with any of the leaders. You are now there at the pavilion. You are there bedding in the sun. You are now a nobody. But then during the process of the planning, they will call you. The leaders will call you your cell phone numbers. They have your parents' support numbers. They will ask your parents, "No, can your child please come and do this for us in the office?" So it was that point in time we said, no, but guys, why is it that when for example, I'll say Pamba, when he's having a rally, his kids are not to be found. His kids will probably be playing PlayStation or they'll be playing swimming or traveling the world.
Yeah.
But here you are, somebody else's child, you don't even have a deodorant for yourself. Your parents don't even have food in the houses, but you are every day you're at the rally. So this is you cannot be right. And this is that addressing these things now within the party. So look, there must be quality at all levels. You cannot just be going to people when it suits us. When you're having when we're having a community engagements, leaders don't come to those community engagements. But when it's rallies, when it's election time, then they come to those things. So no, it should not be the case. And then without addressing those issues, there's issues of also depossession in terms of how people are seen. If you are from Havana, you are less of a person than a person from ours Blake. You say that no, it cannot be. If for as long as you are wearing the party colors, everybody is equal, irrespective of who you are, where you come from, what your surname is. And we're talking about the issue of land also within a particular party. We started addressing the issue of land at the first policy conference that took place in 2012. Said, guys, we need to start addressing the land issue now. We cannot be, we can no longer wait for my generation. It can never wait for my kids' generation or my grandkids. We should start addressing the issue of land now. And the party, the people tell me just go to Peter and Paul, go to post, go where, and we do the research, we come and give the research, they still just sit on it. So what happened in 2014, it was actually in October 2014. I was in South Africa at that point in time. In South Africa at that point in time, and then similarly we were able to get the newspapers and newspapers, daily newspapers, and there was a headline said Kafula gives them the golden kids. I don't know, I said, what are these golden kids now? No golden kids, and Kafula says no, golden kids are veteran kids. So all veteran kids are golden kids, and they included. And then now there's someone in a way to balance it. They included now the Lish, then the Marani Pembe.
One of the big brothers.
Yeah, they are big brother. Also, just that time, which also were a big brother. Yes. And he said, yeah, these are the golden kids. People that are doing good in society. So they deserve land and cheaply also, not market value, cheaply. Even if some of them got land, maybe at if the land was probably costing $1 million, probably got it for 200,000 or just donated for free. And I was saying, but guys, man, this can't be right. This is not the party that our parents fought for or our parents fought for.
Yeah, exactly.
It can't be right. So we came back and this is the having conversations amongst us, amongst members. Okay, guys, we cannot allow it to happen.
Yeah.
We're not allow it to happen. We need to ensure that each and every Namibian, irrespective of where you come from, you're not discriminated against. That we should live in a classless society. Then fast forward, we started actively engaging the leaders, actively now writing letters. The colleagues, let's start having this conversation on land issue. Let's start having it. And then there's a time just before the 9th of November, I think towards the end of October 2014, Chief Kanime and his officers bulldozed during a rainy season, bulldozed some houses, some sheds in Korea. And then said, guys, it's an election year. It's basically 3 weeks before elections. Why are you putting people on the streets? Practically on the streets. And he said, no guys, let's do something. met, we spoke, we discussed, so we find let's go put up a shed. First we said, no, let's go put up a shed in Okrangaba, in San Diego. I said, no, but if you put it up there now, they won't even allow to stay there. They won't even do anything. So let's go where it hurts the most. Where it hurts the most, Klinokopa. Because they're all in Klinokopa. You're all in Klinokopa. Yeah. Because the ones who go in Klinokopa, the whites, the first people that will complain is the white people. Yeah. No, my property, what. So okay, fine, let's go and do it. And then was Sunday morning, it was a Sunday morning, chilly Sunday morning, put in our overalls, we drove.
Just now you with the boys?
With the boys, myself, Timuken, Nyoma, Chopam Panda, and Dash. We were 4, and then we also took along, because we also joined the news to break, to break without us knowing. So let's go and get, pick up key journalists. Key journalists. So we went to go pick up Elvis. I think Elvis was with the Sun, and then who else was there? I think Donatini. But there's someone from New Era. We picked up someone from New Era, and then NBC just caught up with because NBC that time we left at NBC that time. So NBC just called NBC to come in. So we went, picked up the guys around about 6 o'clock. We only spent there an hour. An hour, probably, if it's maximum 2 hours. Just then we went there to clear the area, take pictures, and then we call the media. The guys were here. First of all, we said the New Era and Sun first break the news. Go break the news, and then when the news broke, then everybody started calling. So we only invited NBC to come. NBC came. After NBC, we said, okay, fine, colleagues, the thing is done. We're gonna switch off our phones so that nobody calls us, nobody. So when they wake up. When they wake up in the morning with our breakfast, that's their breakfast. It's our breakfast. So, and funny enough, how it happened that the current president and Pamba were out in Onfia. They was really in Onfia that particular weekend. The founding president was somewhere with Mbumba, somewhere in either in Kavango or in Zambezi. So no one of the top leadership of that particular part of the party at that time was invented. None of them. All of them were all out. So the Sunday they were now all one. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening with these kids? So I said that no, we need to bring the issue of land and young people's needs at the center of development. So we cannot be in a country where young people's voices are being silenced for the sake of others. For the sake of golden kids, as they say. Because I was saying that what makes you golden is that because your parents fought for the parents, that was your father's choice. Your father was never forced by anybody. It was your father's decision. So people saying that it was a choice, and we appreciate it for it. But because my parents could not go or were fighting in here in the country, doesn't make them less of a fighter than your parents are. And what happens to the ladies of the one Silika Pana? This is a mother there that was Silika Pana that took 4 of her kids through varsity. All of them did their first degrees in Judah. So are they also not golden kids? Do they also not deserve a place to call home? Don't they also deserve employment? Or opportunities to create employment for themselves and for others. So we said to hell, we won't allow it. We are going to bring the issue of land at the center of discourse. And that's ever since that day, we never looked back. And we said, look, it will remain the issue of our did, but until young people start claiming their own places, we won't rest. until young people start claiming their own place in terms of land repossession, in terms of employment, creating employment for themselves and for others, we will not rest.
So you guys know when you started, what problems or what challenges came after that?
Sure, it's a lot. I mean, look, remember we're 3 unemployed young people.
Yeah.
3 unemployed young people. All we had was just on our experiences. Job with his degrees, Numa with his diploma. I was still in school that time. I was still trying to figure out life. So I had nothing. But I had a few. Yeah, I had nothing. I had nothing basically. What kept us going was the love from our parents. Basically, mostly our mothers, that really inspired us to keep on pushing, because they themselves were also fighters. And we kept on saying that we will not let this go. And said, do not stop until you see that your friends and people around you and fellow young people are gaining access to housing, are gaining access to collateral-free loans, to start up businesses and to do great things. Don't stop unless people around Namibia are starting to voice their own opinion without any push from state forces. Don't stop. So that kept us going. But the challenges was that we are fighting a system where corruption is at the center of things. That's at the center of things. It's nepotism, it's corruption, it's greed, self-empowerment. It's at the center of it. Now, when those people now come together and to defend that particular, to protect themselves, they'll use all force they have. The police was against us, the NDF was against us, the intelligence was against us, friends, we lost family members. For example, my late father, Solos in peace, we did not speak for 6 months. Families were, like I said, we lost family members, friends, jobs. D was employed at some point and then also lost the employment job as well. At some point, almost lost his employment. So it was difficult at the point where now we are now a 21-year-old fighting 80-year-old men, 86, 90-year-old men with money, with power. I've got nothing. All I had is just the clothes on my back and my parents. That's all I had. I had nothing. We had nothing basically. So you said that for the sake of this country, and for the sake of those that died, that genuinely died for this country, we shall not relent, we shall not equivocate, we shall ensure that each and every Namibian will get a piece of land called home, will enjoy the benefits of this country, which is basic health care, basic as long as your basic needs are catered for. We shall ensure that we shall fight for those things. We want, if it means die, let me die. But we need to ensure that young people's voices are respected and young people's voices are heard.
I see. So what do you think, since activism, I think you guys have went through a lot. As you said, you were just a 21-year-old, even though you had not much to lose as the older ones and all that. And most of the community were against you guys. You guys are disrespecting elders. You guys are going against the system and such things. So how hard was it for you guys now to get employment, for you guys to just to navigate as normal young people?
It was difficult because remember once that particular party says brands you as corrupt, as a tribalist, brands you as anti-government. Nobody in this country will want to touch you. Not, I'm going to say that even friends that you grew up with, blocked me. They blocked us. They don't do any. If you are in a shopping mall, going to Grove Mall or Mara Mall, and you come across like this, they will turn around and they won't even want to look at you. They would nothing. I think we were like what's that thing that we don't when you are deserted like
outcasts.
We're an outcast in this country. But what kept us going is the prayers of our grandmothers, is the prayers of the community, some community members. Actually, even the churches, even some of the churches even came together and pray for us, and they continuously pray for us. And I want to say thank you for that. And especially mothers, because most of us women calling us, saying, my kids, please, what you are doing is right. Continue fighting. Some of us are old, some of us can't see, some of us lost legs and arms, but please continue fighting. Let the spirit of no surrender keep on burning you guys. Don't let anybody say otherwise or belittle you. Yes, they have been there. People have been belittled all over the world. You're not the first ones to be called an outcast. There were the Shipangas that were there. There were the SWAT boys that were there. Narim Pigana was also there. Latambo, Samuel Marero was also there. So you won't be the first one.
Exactly.
So, but let the spirit of Rosabitapo, the Hades, the Yonker Africaners, let their spirits fuel your energy, and to keep you moving, because if not for those ones, for the Helibird boys, they will never been they will never have been assembling or having income or so we need to appreciate also our forefathers. So even the reason why we went to Plena Cooper was that if we were to succeed to put up a shack at a house in Plena Cooper, it was close by to Widows Egg. So the spirits of our forefathers would have been with us at all times. They will be guiding us, they will be protecting us, and also be giving us wisdom. So Plena Cooper was also not just, it's also symbolic that one, it's where the white man stays, and the white man will at all point try to protect his property, as they did, and also we will also be using their puppets, which is our black leadership, to protect those those properties. But for us, what was comforting is that it's just a milestone away, a throw stone away from Widows Acre, where Widows Acre will be where our ancestors are laid to rest, and the spirits will fuel us. And also just around the corner from Yuna, where we are schooling. So it was convenient that if we are to go there, wisdom, courage is laid there. Intellectual capacity can be fueled by just right across there. So the fight remains just in the center. So one thing that we are fortunate that we had elders such as Bishop Katenda at that point in time. Bishop Katenda was always with us, was always praying with us. We also had gentleman Murare, who was an elder. Dr. Murare was also pivotal because he was the one that kept us saying that as young people, keep on pushing, keep going. He's one that said, go, run. And if you have an idea, no matter what the idea is, whether it's right or wrong, if it's your idea, if you believe in it, go for it. Go for it and see it through. Don't say that no, you're going to Agana and then stop in Manhattan. No. Go through it and see it through. So he also kept on motivating us to keep on pushing and to see our dreams through, and give us strength and strength. So apart from challenges, I think challenges like I said, challenges were followed all over. We traveled to because we used to travel a lot. Everywhere we go, the police will be behind us. They will always follow us wherever we're going. They will be all over. So at some point you couldn't even attend family gatherings because I thought no, don't go there, go there. Because some people want to take an attempt on your life, and it happened twice.
Really?
It happened twice. It happened twice when we were going to Okanja. Once it happened twice. Once we were going to Okanja for a visit, and then the other time we were going to the daughter of Thea to Shakati, and then we had a weird accident. But it's not. So we had those things, but none of those things had ever deterred us from pursuing the dream of Namibia economically emancipated by young people, for young people.
Exactly. And I think as young people, one thing that we fail to understand is that we expect everybody, like if maybe you stand up against something, we expect people to be supporting you and everything. And we feel that like those people, even people like Hosea Kutako, people like Swalko, they have people that were against them. Nobody ever believed in their dreams, and there were people that were trying actually to put them down. People like Nelson Mandela and all that. Nobody was like there cheering up for them and all that.
No, you see, it takes courage. They say, Thomas Sankara says that for you to effect some sort of change, there must be some sort of foolishness. You must do some. It requires some sort of foolishness, meaning that it means that you must start thinking differently from people around you. And the moment you start thinking different from people around you, will start looking at you differently as well. But not in the sense that of in a good thing. I said, no, now he thinks now he's now better than us. But for example, you are three in a group, and second man, all your life you say that no, I'll do not travel. Now because now you said that the man, let's start traveling. Let's start saying that now because you have the money. Because you're a rich uncle or something like that, you want to start traveling. So no, it's because you want to broaden your understanding of the world. You want to understand what's happening around the world. Because right now, at least right now, social media is available where you are able to read, to understand what's happening globally, not what's happening in other African countries. But with us, social media was not yet there. So you had to travel and see the world and say, oh guys, what's happening in Namibia is not what should be happening. Because we deserve more. We deserve better. And if we're not getting it, we need to go get it ourselves. Because if you don't get your bread, nobody will bring it to you. You must go get it yourself.
Okay, so you guys, without a doubt, you guys achieved like significant milestones as well in leadership and all that. So what are some of maybe the proud moments or some of the projects that you guys work on, like, here we really...
It's June 16th. First of all, I'll categorize them. June 16th was the biggest. Not for me. I mean, now the biggest milestone, yes, but I'll come to one of the most proudest moments I ever had. June 16, because we managed to stop the parliament from being built.
Oh, which year was it?
2016.
2016.
But what was significant about it is that it was the biggest time when, after independence, that young people were on the streets. I think we ran about maybe 50,000 people.
Yeah.
It was a huge number. It was a huge number. The petition got signed. It was a huge number of people came out, and it was not only young people. It was also old people. Our parents came there, family members, black, white, pink, blue. It was like, what we thought only young people would come out, because it's June 16. So we thought, and the government said that no. And for the first time after independence, since independence, June 16 is a school holiday.
Yeah.
But that particular year, the minister said that June 16 all schools are open. Kids were in schools.
Oh, wow.
But one thing that of your young kid, because it's one of my alma maters. They came. They said that no, to hell with this minister. We don't care with the minister. We are standing up for our generation. We are standing up for what we believe in. The whole school came to June 16, and we marched. Wow. June 16. The other one was the 2019. 2019 we did what we call the protest with the Chief Justice. When we overnight, I think it was for 2 days. We slept on the streets. We slept on the streets with young Namibians. That was beautiful.
Just little crazy things.
We slept literally on the streets, and then the community of Eros came. There's an uncle, a white guy. We were even shocked. White guy came.
So you guys went to sleep in Eros?
In the street itself, going to just a few houses before the Chief Justice, because we were saying that no, Chief Justice must ensure that the interviews for the office of the ombudsman must be done public. Because what the state wanted to appoint one of the first lady's friends, and from that Kambala, said that no, you cannot, just because you are friends and buddies, make this this is not your household. So let's ensure that there's a fair and just process prevails. We marched to the Chief Justice. First went to the Chief Justice and we wrote to him first, look, we're coming to you for this petition, and we're expecting you to, we don't want anybody else. It's either you or it's either you or the deputy comes and receive the petition. And then he had agreed. We contacted with him on the way. We said, no, we're coming, this is how far we are, we're on our way. Then suddenly we were told, no, he's not around. She said, no.
Really?
She said, no. Okay, if he's not around, then where is he? No, he's at home. I think to a family matter. Okay, so I will go to his house.
His house, yeah.
And then, but went to the police that we are going now. The police just saw us walking in separate, in various directions.
Oh, they're going different directions.
Different directions. And then we all ended up at almost at the Chief Justice's house. And then a white man there welcomed us. And then he was giving us water from his house. I said, okay, look, if you want water, we are going to the toilet. Here's my house here. Just come in. The don't want anything. Come in. Make yourself comfortable. We're drinking water from his house. If you needed to use the number 2, we're going to his house. He said, don't worry. These things what the guys are doing, I believe in you.
Wow.
Whether the white man was genuine or not, but well, he did it.
Yeah, he did.
And then the community started now bringing food, started bringing blankets, because they thought that now when it's now getting dark, people will leave it. No. As people were coming down, as the sun was going down, the cars were also arriving. People, young Namibians were also coming to give solidarity. Solidarity were there on the sleeping on the streets, bringing blankets, food, whatever was needed, firewood, because we also ended up making our firewood, and then we sat there and sang until the next morning, until now.
Really? So you did not come out?
No, did not come out. We said until somebody with authority come and accept this petition, we won't leave this place. That's one of the milestones. The other one is Job becoming mayor. There's a significance of that moment, the significant moment, which is a milestone, not only for Job but for a movement of young people that when we had the timeline, and we met our targets as per our timeline. Not to say our people thought, but to say, look, everything that happens within AR happens for a reason. Because most of these things, some of these things that we have thought through and planned. Things don't just happen out of today, tomorrow I'm going. No. It's things that we have really thought through since 2014. And we have planned and thought, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this in the community. I'm going to take this route, I'm going to do ABCD in this things. The biggest night is the launch of my biggest night is when we launched our book. I wrote a book in 2016 as well, called Affirmative Repositioning, Awakening a Generation. That book inspired a lot of young Namibians. Young Namibians, after that book, everybody started writing. Either writing articles, either writing opinion pieces, either writing books also on the journey of young people. People started expressing themselves openly. Young people started their own organizations. Young people started going on the streets themselves without anybody's help. Because the book served their purpose to inspire young people that you can do this. You don't need to be a 40-year-old.
Exactly.
Even a 19-year-old. That's why the Shut It Down movement for us is also one of the biggest milestones for us, because young people stood up without the need of anyone else. They just said, guys, look, tomorrow we should it down very too. And they did it. And they did it brilliantly. So for us, that was one of the most beautiful and most awesome thing that we could have ever one thing that could have ever happened in the country without young people. But it keeps on going. People still young ones still keep on doing it. And appreciate it. You don't need us. You don't need a job or D or whatever it is to air your views or to air your frustrations. You can do it yourself. You yourself as Maria or as a John from Ngolume or from Tinzabes or from Tess. You yourself, all that you need to do is just to stand up for yourself. The rest will follow. So you don't need permission from anybody in this country to do a protest. You don't need permission from anybody to speak. Because the Constitution guarantees you that each and every Namibian has a right to express themselves. Each and every Namibian has a right to affiliation of their choice. Each and every Namibian has a right to do whatever they feel like doing. So you don't need anybody's help.
That's very true. And I think that's very true. Because I think I read that book. I think it was during COVID. Because my brother actually, I just found it in my brother's room, so I took it. And I think that's where I got to learn more about you three, to get to know how you guys grew up, what you guys provoked you to do what you do today. And then I also just realized that I actually have also a social responsibility. Like as a Namibian citizen, I have a responsibility to give back to my community. And that me, myself, I don't need to wait for anybody to actually come and push me. I need to do it myself. And I need to create opportunities for myself and for other young people as well and all that. So yeah, you guys are really a great inspiration. Because we just used to hear no, they're just three guys that are just causing trouble in the community and
no, it definitely is. No, it is used to be like that. But one thing for me is also that is the vigor and the strength that young people finally realize that they have, the power that young people finally realize that they have, that they can actually get things done for themselves by themselves. It was very awesome. One other thing that also that stood out for me is the November 14, I think, November 21 misapplications. We had in total invented, we had around about 14,000 applications around the country. It was around about 150,000 applications in terms of the local authorities. Invented from those 14,000, I can clearly state that at least 300 of those people got land from that list. Some of them have never. Some of them wrote those letters just by chance. I said, man, just something that's happening, man, let me just go. But now they are homeowners from the 14th, in terms of inventory. Around the country, I can't really tell much, but at least what you know in Henty's Bay, at least this in Henty's Bay, this is 124 people got piece of land in Henty's Bay. In Valdez Bay, at least 3,000 got through their mass housing project. Not mass housing, but through the massive urban land servicing program. Same with Oshakati, the same program. So a lot of people got land without them through due process, without anybody say that no, I know an uncle, I know an auntie, just bring it. But their own intuition said, no, let me just apply. And then through that particular application, they got the response, said, my brother and sister, want the land, release the land, pay for it. And that's it. And that was and that's the courage that we get every day. When somebody said, no, brother, look, I remember that day when we did that land clearing. Yes, I put in my application. Yes, brother, I'm sitting in my house. Come next week, I'm having a bride. Come and see what you have done for me. So those are the little things that really keeps us going and keeps us motivated. Say, look, we're not doing this in vain. Even if the footsteps are very small, the footprints are very small, we're headed somewhere. Exactly.
And I think you guys' movement as well, it kind of opened the community side that we can actually question that we can actually get land. We have the right to get to own land as Namibians in the country. Because usually is that you just, you go to illegal, you get the place there, and then even if you are vacated out of your house, you don't even question it, you just leave. But now the community kind of understand, I can actually question this, and I have the right to actually own land as a Namibian, as a community and all that.
No, definitely true. See, you see one thing that one of our inspirations comes from Thomas Sankara. And Thomas Sankara talks about, like I said earlier on, about the living of madness. He talks about strength, but most importantly, he talks about a generation. That each and every generation determines our own future. That it's either up to you to make or break your generation. So you decide where you're gonna make sure that your generation succeeds. Are going to make your generation that it fails. And we said that no, we are going to be the generation that's going to make sure that we deliver economic emancipation in this country for young people. That we are going to make sure that young people or our generation have a place to call home. and to have a place to call home, a dignified home, not just a home because of a shack which is for. They said no. We want Namibians to be living in dignified homes where I can raise my family, I can raise my kids with peace and tranquility. Just like the same person is living in our street, I must able to have the same peace of mind when I'm in Havana, when I'm in Umbajutina, when I'm in Arsenal. I must be able to have that same equal peace of mind. The peace of mind in this country is only meant for a few, but it's meant for everybody.
That's very true. Okay, being involved now in all those activism and all those all those things that you've been involved in and all that. So what do you think are the most important skills or like skills that you gained from there that actually contributed to your growth today?
Well, I used to stutter.
Yeah.
I still stutter, but because I had to start speaking to people every day, I had to learn how to control my stuttering. That's one skill that's one thing I managed to work on very much properly. The other skill is listening. Being naughty generally does not allow you to listen to people very much more often, but then because of that I was able to calm down and start listening to people, and not only listening but also to hear what they have to say. Because the difference between listening and to hear what a person says. The other skill is also is being tolerant. That just because I have an opinion, it doesn't mean that my opinion is right. And also that because we are on diverse views, that doesn't necessarily mean that we should not be able to be friends, or shouldn't they be able to talk. So that's one thing that this journey has taught me, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate that much, because if you don't tolerate one another, we are never gonna grow this country. Because we are forever gonna say, it's you Tamara, you Vambu, you what. So we need to be able to sacrifice, even if I'm different from you, you have different views from me, we are still Namibians, and we have a bigger attachment on him, and that is to make sure that this country becomes great. This country becomes the optimum of success.
Okay, now you're being involved, engaging in complex social and political issues. Like it really requires a continuous learning. How do you keep yourself updated and well informed of your work that you advocate for, and just be updated as well?
Yeah, well, news. I watch news, not NBC News.
Yeah.
Obviously NBC News. I read newspapers daily. I made a point to read newspapers daily. I make sure that at least every once in a while I mingle with senior people, older people, whether be it in the communities or whether be within my family gathering, family setting, or whether it's in my professional setting, because they say that wisdom comes from those that know and those that come before us. I also watch, we do research videos, or whatever is there, but also mostly I love listening to what do you call it, to podcasts, but mostly your African history podcasts. So those ones give me, one is to inspire me to do more, because it's mostly just audio books about people that have done so much of your for example on Lumumba, President Lumumba, on the history of Cuba, or the Fidel Castro's, talks about Simon Bolivar. So those audio books about their lives and how they also started their journeys in their own respective countries inspires me to keep on going on. But also with when it comes to being up to date, it's just news, but also most importantly, Pundingosho. That's why place I love to be at because those guys we say you don't know when you see the elder people and the other person allows to be from where are you going? And they say no, I'm going to school. So okay, fine. So for them that's now their for them that's their school, and that's where we also get to learn about what's happening in society, what's happening just in our community, because they know a lot, they know everybody.
Exactly.
Even if they are drunk at all point in time, but they know exactly who is where, what's happening in each household. How they know this is I don't know, but that's how we I get up to date with information, and
And I think that's very true, because for you to know what is going on in the community, the people that you're actually serving, you need to obviously mingle with those people.
Yes.
You need to know what is going on and what they think and what they do,
Definitely, yes.
And Punting Kosho, it's actually the right.
One now.
Because those people, they can even blow your mind, like they know so much.
Yeah, definitely. You see, one thing that has happened in Punting Kosho is that in most cases, it has destroyed some people's lives.
Yeah.
But in these people's lives, they are smart people, or people that were smart in high school, or people that are just kid smart. So they also have a lot to. They also have a lot to offer in terms of building the nation. The other is also that your networking with peers, catching up with peers from different political homes. I say because most of my friends are from different. Most of my friends are in different political parties. SWAPO, LPM, PDM, Ludo. So almost the whole spectrum. I have friends, and we say that look, guys, when we come together, we don't push each other. We talk about an issue. If it's an issue of it's corruption, we have an informed debate, and we don't throw stones, because you all live in glass houses. So don't start throwing stones, because if you start throwing stones, then nobody will live here. Everybody will be homeless. So let's have informed decisions, informed discussions about issues pertaining to our country, and see how we can find this. And how we can find the best solutions towards our problems. So that's how I keep myself up to date and conversate.
And I think that I don't know if we don't really love reading, but then most of us, like, we don't really find reading fascinating as well. Just being, especially reading newspapers or just reading books, and maybe especially when it comes down to history books as well, and all that.
I think definitely reading is a challenge. It's a challenge. It's not only a challenge for black people, it's a challenge for everywhere around the world. Especially when it comes to our generation, as young people. Excuse me, that's been a challenge. But I said, look, if you don't have it, get an audio book. The audiobooks are now on Spotify, are all over, even on YouTube. So you don't need to read anymore. You can just get the video of the book, the audio or the audio version of the book, and listen. And also, the good thing is that now you have with MTC, you have now enough data to download your audio books and get it on the road as you are driving, as you are traveling. You plug it in, you listen to it. And one thing I always tell you, one thing I still say that get time to meditate. Get time to meditate. I do it once a month. I go out and just normally I used to go here at Debra, take that Debra walk once a month. just to meditate and just to reflect on where you are as a person, and what you and how far you are with your goals, because you cannot always be on the streets every day, running, toiling, fighting for against corruption, fighting this, fighting that, because you will lose. Just like any other human being, you are destined to a meltdown. So how I prevent myself from going to a meltdown is meditating, and meditating and just traveling at least once a month. Go away for a day. If you're just away from people, one Saturday or Sunday, you just say, look, I'm off. I'm gonna be in my room the whole day. I'm gonna talk to anybody. I'll just be thinking, be my thoughts, and then that's it.
Okay, I wanna ask this, like, you have been so involved in so many things. I'll be asking you questions randomly. But then, like, was there a point that you ever like wanted, like, let me just leave everything and just maybe take a different, like, where you just like, this is enough?
Yeah, no, there were points in my life where I wanted to stop. The points in my life where I was like,
give us maybe an example or something.
Well, there's a time when I wanted to go to school, but then I couldn't get the finances for school. But I got so many friends around me. But why they not supporting me? So I've not said no way. I'm gonna stop this thing. And I said, no, but George, why do you have to struggle like this? I mean, you're not the only person that's finding it difficult to find in school. So why are you trying to make it to cry about it? Take that and do something about it. So I stood up, started picking calls, went to school, to the school, said, guys, look, let me register. I'll pay you at the end of the year when I'm getting my diploma. Once I write my last exam. By the time I finish writing my exam, and by the time I'm about to graduate, I'll give you your money. Just be sure that I register.
Really?
Yes. So through friends and family, I managed to graduate. I managed to pass my exams, and I managed to pay off. So at that particular time, I was very depressed. But then a friend of mine said, look, you're not the only one that's going through this. At least you have people to call. Some people don't have anybody. Some of them have nobody. So be thankful that you still have parents alive. That time I never said alive. Be thankful for that. Appreciate what you have and just stop trying to get up and do something about it. So ever since then, I never did self-pity for myself. But also there's also a time where everything just becomes overwhelming. Where you couldn't go out anymore with your friends because everywhere you go, people know who you are. People will start taking pictures, people will start taking videos, people will want to compensate with you. So somewhere I was like, man, I want to just get a normal life. And then I said, look guys, what I do what I do because I love what I'm doing. I'm not doing this to become a celebrity or to become the most popular person in Vancouver, Namibia, or in Africa. I'm not doing that for that. I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing it for my kids. I'm doing it for my generation. So I don't need any reward. If a reward comes, that's good. It's a thumbs up. But I'm not as normal as you are. I have fun as just like as you are. So ever since then I'm like, it's good.
Because like sometimes we're just looking from the other side of the road and we're like, you guys are like, you have something to fall back on. You guys have everything that is going well for you guys.
Oh, we all have problems. We all have problems. We all have problems. And that's the thing that everybody thinks is that I'm immune to I'm not immune to problems. Just like I'm just a young person like any other person trying to figure out this thing called life. Trying to understand this thing called being an adult. So we all have got problems. But the only difference is that I don't cry about it. I don't self-pity myself. I encourage myself to do better. If I make a mistake, I say, okay, fine, look, You made a mistake, let's learn from it, let's move on. But don't hang on it.
Exactly, that's very true. Okay, now if I want now to get to be like a productive young person and I want to follow this thing of advocacy or activism, but then how do I make sure that I don't actually like maybe neglect myself or neglect my life as well and just ending up being advocating for stuff and I find myself maybe I'm 30 and I'm with nothing, I don't even go to school and all that.
Be true to yourself.
Yeah.
Be true to yourself. Never don't feel sorry for being selfish.
Yeah.
Don't feel sorry for being selfish. Don't feel bad for being selfish. Because only you yourself know what you are doing and what you are going through. I won't know. We could be friends every day, but I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what's going through your mind. So you must always try to be selfish at some point. With your time, especially with your time and your space. Be selfish. If it means you don't want to go anywhere, just say I'm not going anywhere. If it means I'm not talking to anyone, decide I'm not talking to anyone. Just sometimes be selfish. It's okay. It's okay to be selfish. Don't go and say no, I'm sorry. Say no, don't be sorry. Yeah.
I see. Okay, coming back now to serious thing. Okay, you guys, the area you are now in the process of registering to be a political party, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
and to actually participate in next year's election. So you yourself, my individual, do you aspire to, if you guys like take part in the election next year, do you aspire to go to parliament? And then if you go to parliament, what issues are you guys going to tackle? The first issues that you guys want to tackle?
Yo, that's a difficult one. Well, I can't comment on the process now, because the process is now. I'm told it's a process with ECN.
Yeah.
So ECN, so the seat of ECN, I can't comment on it now, or also the elections. But one thing I can tell you that I don't have any ambition to be in parliament. I don't have any ambition to be in parliament at all. I don't want to be in parliament. I don't see myself being in parliament because I am more of a administrator. I think I see myself probably one day running the Ministry of Youth. I see myself probably be an ED of one of the ministries, maybe if not youth, then maybe gender. But I don't see myself being in parliament at all. Yes, because parliament you can't do much. Parliament you can't do much, but you can do a lot if you are running administrating a ministry, because you are able to implement policy, and for me, I'm an implementer. I don't have time to go and read books and come up with policy, but I can say, look guys, give me the money. Young people wanted a stadium, let's build a stadium, let's give the people jobs, let's create jobs, let's create platforms where young creatives can flourish. That I can do.
Yeah. Okay, so what advice would you give now to individuals who are inspired by your story as well, the work that you do, and the one to embark on a journey, a similar journey of you, or just young people that actually want to be productive citizens?
One thing that I would tell a young person is that, look, there's only one Namibia. First of all, there's only one Namibia. There's no Namibia after life.
Yeah.
You don't know anybody that died and came back. So there's only one Namibia, first and foremost. This Namibia is now becoming a score now. It's becoming a score. Now it's up to you to decide now. Are you gonna continue driving this score until it's now no more a car? Doesn't look like a car. It's just it used to be a car. So you decide now. Are you going to start fixing the car? Or you have started now to make sure that now the car is driving well, it has new wheels, At least even if the indicators are not working, the windows are working, you know. So it's up to you to decide where are you going to start. What annoys you the most? What are you passionate about? Some people are passionate about music. Some people are passionate about painting. Some people are passionate about healthcare. Some people are passionate about politics. What are you passionate about? And how are you going to drive that passion of yours to ensure that this car, Namibia, by the time you are done driving it, your children also are able to drive the same car, if not a better car than what you are able to drive now. So you must be able to decide now for yourself that what am I doing that's contributing towards the betterment of Namibia or to the degrading or degeneration of Namibia. You must make that choice. I can't make that choice for you, but you are able to. But you see it every day. For instance, you know, for example, in your street, there's no street lights, but you know, but the ball is there. But every day you're walking and passing. So are you gonna continue passing by that street pole and then doing one day the government, one day city of Windhoek, one day, or say, look, man, let me go to the city of Windhoek. But city of Windhoek, look, there's a street pole there that is fixing. Where do you guys have to fix it? That's it. It's up to you. There's a lot of things that are wrong in this country, but also there's also a lot of good things in this country. So let's not always focus on the bad things in this country, but let's also appreciate where we are as a country. But in terms of appreciating, let's also say, look, let's do better now. Let's try and do better. So for young people out there, is that it's your chance now to do better than what we did. If it means you setting up a new AR, start it. Start a new AR and do better than what we did. Or maybe say, fine, no, I'm not doing AR and better what we are doing. But it's all up to you. I always say, start where you are, with what you know, with what you have.
That's very true. And I think as young people, we really need to, I think we tend to be so ignorant, even though we are living in community, there are problems, we are seeing those problems, but we're just waiting, that the government is coming to fix them. If they're not going to, it's not my responsibility and all that. So I think we just need to be more kind of like observant as well and be able to fix our own problems and contribute to the development of our country.
It's all about us, and it's all what we have. So let's start fixing.
Yeah, thank you so much, George. You said I must have called you Mr. Kambala.
No. It's like a pretty big day.
No, but we're seeing you guys, like you guys are our inspiration. Ever since we were in school, we saw you guys being able to represent the community, inspiring us and all that. And we are doing some of those things that we do because of you guys. We are getting the example from you guys.
I really appreciate it. First of all, thank you for having me on the show. I can't wait to see the episode.
Yes.
Also ensure that further more young people can get exposed on the show, get to know about it. Because I say that as young Black Namibians, we are on our own. So if we don't support our own, no one will. So it's good, like I said, let's start where we are, with what we have, with what we know.
Thank you so much. Any questions maybe that you have for me or anything, any last questions?
No, just be on the lookout for 2024.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.